The reverse fishbowl activity is one that is a variation of a traditional activity a colleague suggested in our English department here at Todd Central one day as a way to get students discussing their reading. The students who sit in the middle have seen the questions they'll be discussing ahead of time, so they've had a chance to review them. But they're the only ones who are allowed to talk, while those seated around them in a circle outside the fishbowl are not allowed to talk. The problem with this is that the students on the outside don't have a chance to have any input in the discussion. It becomes really frustrating for them, and they're often bored just watching others discuss and become detached from the conversation. So the technology comes in where these students have what we call a TitanPad, which is a collaborative document that lets students type simultaneously on one document, and they all then can contribute to the conversation in the fishbowl without speaking. Since I had the TitanPad displayed on the projector, it also allowed the students inside the fishbowl to glance at the TitanPad if they were struggling with an answer, or if there was a good idea on the TitanPad to elaborate on within the discussion from the outside circle. I think the kids liked the activity because only a few could actually verbalize their answers, which kept the commotion down somewhat and too many wanting to contribute and the debate that can ensue sometimes. Also, everyone had access to the questions, the reading document on the computer, and the TitanPad all at the same time on their computers during the discussion. So they could all contribute to the review discussion and benefit from the conversation inside the fishbowl as well.
I like the fishbowl activity because it made me think in a different way. I had to make sure I had a point that I could support from the text and that it would make sense to the others in the fishbowl. The TitanPad also allowed me to see what the people on the outside of the fishbowl were thinking, so that helped me whenever I had a hard time with the question. Those outside contributed in ways that we didn't think of.
I liked being in the fishbowl, doing the fishbowl activity, because it helped you could hear what other people had to say out loud, but also since we had to use the TitanPad and the people on the outside of the fishbowl you couldn't say anything, like you could see what other people were thinking in their head and what was going through their mind. And I didn't really like being on the outside though, because you want to say what you think, but you can't really explain it very well.